Because if somebody had told us this kind of approaches, our life would have been very, very easy. Back then, we had to struggle a lot. We have done a lot of mistakes, after which we have realized what is the best approach. Report, World Bank report, or ARC report, ARC committee report. Again, should you read the entire ARC? Please don't do that. Just know, pick and choose from that also. When you write your answer as per the ARC to promote transparency, this can be incorporated. Know what is integrity. There will be keywords for that. Make sure those keywords are there in the definition. So 50% of your effort is learning, notes, micro notes, revision, etc. The other 50% should go for answer writing. Will you write everything, or will you write only what you can't remember? That is your revision notes. How much should you write? Should you fill the pages? Okay, should you, write more than the word limit? What will happen if you write more than that? All those things, you don't worry. That's what it is. See, if you have that clarity of thought, you can organize and write. But to add to that, you need certain facts. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good. Okay. So, as promised, we will be discussing today about the main strategy. Okay, so in the previous videos or class, we have discussed about the prelim strategy, the exam strategy, how to keep ourselves motivated, all those things we have discussed in the previous classes. All right, so now we are exclusively focusing on the mains now. We will just discuss what is the approach towards mains, what are the materials to be referred to, how do you go about preparing for your mains, all those things we will try and understand, discuss today in today's class. All right. So in today's class, we will try and understand the main syllabus. Okay. Very briefly, all the specific topics, all those things, you can see your detailed syllabus that's there in the welcome document. So important things about the main syllabus, the materials that you need to refer to. All right. The focus area in each of that, priority wise, which topics you have to cover first, which is more scoring. How do you manage them? All those focus area and the approaches, answer writing approach, notes making approach, all those things we will discuss in the approaches. And a little bit about current affairs from the mains point of view. If you happen to attend my previous class, I had told you that from the mains point of view, your current affairs are not so important from KPSC exam point of view. So, but at least certain things we have to focus on. We'll see that. Okay, then answer writing approach, etc. we will try and discuss. Okay, so these are what we are going to discuss in today's class. Before I start today's class, I want you to inform you all that from this Sunday onwards, we will be conducting Karnataka issue classes. So all of you are expected to attend these classes. Is that okay? So here, even though you have all the materials, etc., we will be trying to provide this information in a very systematic manner, so that you can plan your, or you can load your brains with those information. So much of information is there on Karnataka issues, that is current affairs, then your budget, economic survey, schemes and programs, right? General knowledge relating to Karnataka issues. So we have obviously given so many materials on them. The budget material is there, survey, old material is there, new one we are preparing. So all that we will be giving you, but if you see, they are almost 500, 600 pages. So one time, to read all of that, it takes a lot of time. So me and my team, what we are planning to do is we are going to divide these topics, make it much more easier for you. Okay, from Sunday, at least 3 to 4 hours every Sunday till the examination. Hopefully within few months, we can cover all these important issues. So if you make notes on those things, and if you keep revising them, as I told you, prelims, almost 40 questions are asked from Karnataka issues. The target, the idea is at least out of this 40 questions, 30 questions we should be able to get from these classes. All right, every Sunday so we'll be covering Karnataka issues, Karnataka general knowledge, okay, which is the highest, lowest, longest, those things. Karnataka budget, important things from the exam point of view. Then your Karnataka economic survey, where we'll be focusing on Karnataka schemes and programs. At least 10 questions, 15 questions are asked from schemes and programs. Again, if somebody helps you to address them better, it's always good. Okay, so you can also read it on your own while attending the classes. It's going to be a revision, or attend the classes and then you read the material. It's going to be a revision either ways. So that is what we plan to do exclusively on Karnataka issues. If you recollect, 40 questions are asked from this. So the idea is we'll be addressing these things. Okay. So make sure all of you on Sundays, please attend them. So we call it as Sunday Manthan. This we had started when we were preparing for 2011 exam. So from then we have been doing this called as Sunday Manthan every time before the exam, and it has been very successful. A lot of students who have attended these, our students or somebody from outside, have benefited. So we keep it free of cost so that everybody can benefit from this at the from the exam point of view. So Sundays, please make sure keep yourself available for these things. Weddings, other things can always wait. Okay, friends, wedding, etc. These things will not wait. All right. So that's one more thing. And before I start the class, one more thing is a lot of students were asking how to approach CSAT or aptitude reasoning, both from UPSC or from your KPSC point of view. Many are finding it difficult. So me and my team and Pratik sir, one of the top faculty of CSAT, so we discussed and we thought of coming up with the most important probable CSAT topics and tricks for those things. Okay, so we'll be having 10 tests covering almost all the important topics, not everything, most important topics, easy and yet important, so that with little bit of effort, you should be able to score or be comfortable with CSAT. So this also we will be starting soon. It's just 10 tests for which we have kept a very nominal price. Pratik sir is one of the top faculty in UPSC. So he was kind enough to help even KPSC aspirants. You will see the difference, the tricks, etc. that he is going to give you will add a lot of weightage for your CSAT preparation. In just 10 tests, 30 questions, 1 hour test. In this 1 hour, you'll be solving 30 questions. But the idea is these 30 questions will be very different from each other and covering. So at the end, you will be solving 300 questions or 300 types of questions. And you can expect at least 50% to appear in the exam, something like that. So I would also suggest you to attend this. Those who are finding CSAT difficult, I think you can just take these tests and then see how to solve it. Okay, and then once again prepare for those topics. It's really a good initiative. You can think about it. So that's what. So as promised, we are trying to make sure as many meritorious students are able to clear prelims. So the more meritorious students enter mains, okay, the more systematic and more better the exam is going to be, the process, as you all know. So we are filtering all the negative characters right from the prelim. So it's our small initiative to make this exam much more transparent in that way. Okay. So anyway, so make use of these two facilities: Sunday, Karnataka issues, and the CSAT test series for 10 tests covering most important CSAT topics. Well, so with that, let me again, so these are the things that we are going to discuss today. It's actually very, very important, class according to me, because if somebody had told us this kind of approaches, our life would have been very, very easy. Back then, we had to struggle a lot. We have done a lot of mistakes, after which we have realized what is the best approach. So Hange, I would suggest you to pay real attention to what I'm going to discuss, not with just the syllabus, but with the approaches. A lot of 10 years of experience has gone into this particular class. So let's begin with discussing the syllabus for your mains. Ellaru syllabus antu one round you would have seen it. I'm not going to go into the technical aspect or individual topics. Whenever the class is done, your faculty is going to explain what are they going to do. But let me just very quickly give a very brief overview of the syllabus and what notes is available and what notes will be available in the future, or how do we approach all these things. So GS1, as you heard, have seen, there are few topics on history, few topics on society, few topics on economy. Okay, that is there. And most of the time it's divided into section 1, 2, and 3. So you can expect 1/3 questions from section 1, 1/3 questions from section 2, 1/3 questions from section 3. That's how KPSC has been asking in the past. That's how you can expect. And how many or what is the marks that they are going to ask, that we don't know. It's not been very consistent. All right. So sometimes they have asked 12.5 marks questions. Sometimes they have asked 10 to 15 marker question also, like UPSC 10 marker and 15 marker. That also we can expect. Or they have asked 12.5 also. Okay, 12.5 into 20 questions they have asked. So we don't know how the questions or marks are going to come. It's not very clear in the syllabus. But what we can take from this is, you'll have to prepare for about 150 to about 250 marks. I mean, sorry, words. Okay. So every topic in your syllabus, or all the important topics, you should be having enough knowledge to write about 150 to 250 words. Okay. So that is what your preparation should look like. So if you take, let's say, on the architecture of Kadamat or whatever, if there is a topic, you should have enough content where you are going to write for about 2 pages, 1.5 to 2 pages. Generally, in 1 page, you can write about 100 words. Depends on the handwriting, but an average student's handwriting may 100 words can be written in 1 page. So 150 words means 1.5 page. And then, I mean, this before I talk about the syllabus and all. And then how much should you write? Should you fill the pages? Okay, should you, write more than the word limit? What will happen if you write more than that? All those things, you don't worry. Is that okay? The first priority is to complete the paper. Okay, don't sit and count the words, or don't worry about that. The first priority is to complete the paper. If you ask me, instead of seeing the word limit, see the time limit. Though time limit is not there, it's the entire paper, 3 hours. But for one question, you will have about 6 to 8 minutes time. Please, you can make a note of this. Each question, the answer has to be written within 6 to 8 minutes and not more than that. How much ever you can write. Is that understood? This is the golden rule. All of you write down one question, 6 to 8 minutes. Again, it depends how many questions are going to be asked. Is that okay? But on an average, I'm telling you, you would have to complete each answer to complete the paper within 7 to 8 minutes. Now that's the challenge. Okay, if you are looking at 150 words or something like that, you will not track the time. And then what happens is 2-3 questions you miss out. I'm telling you, if you miss out 3-4 questions, not writing, okay, most of the time you are off the race. Because at the end, even 10 marks matters. I know it. In 2012 or 14, 1 mark. Okay, I would have got a better post than what I got. Just 1 mark. Okay, so each mark counts. Is that okay? You leave one question. Okay, you are losing 4 to 5 marks, which you would have got otherwise if you had attempted it. Is that okay? So normal human tendency is perfection. Remember, I told you in the previous class, we always aim to become perfect. Okay, we want to complete the syllabus. We want to study everything. Because even in school, they have said, you have to always be 100% correct. But here, it's not like that. You don't have to be perfect. Even if you have not written all the answers perfectly, but if you have attempted all the questions, you will get better marks. Did you understand? So the first golden rule in mains is completing all the questions, completing the paper. Write something about everything. Okay, you will end up getting better marks. And how do you complete the paper? If you give equal time for every question. What happens in the beginning? 3 hours time is there. So you end up writing very slowly, perfectly. So you will write one answer for 15 minutes. If you write like this, you will not be able to complete your paper. Not more than 8 minutes for each question. So keep track of your time. Okay, every 8 minutes, jump to the next question. Come back if you have time. Is that okay? So with that, you see how each topic ke liye you can prepare it like this. Okay, this is what you have to keep in mind. The first thing that I wanted to tell before I talk about everything else is this. Is that okay? Right. Now, if you see GS1, there is history part, right? Then there is society and social issues and all of that. Okay, and then there is rural development, economy, and somehow they have added data interpretation in CSAT in economy part. So I don't know how that works, because last time I think one exam they asked even permutation and combination in your mains examination for economy topic. So I don't know how that works. Maybe somehow you are expected to do even accounting in KS. Okay, anyways, so it's there in the syllabus, so we'll have to address it accordingly, right? So you have history part, very vast. Unlike your UPSC syllabus, this is extremely vast topic. We're covering both your national as well as state, right? The cultural heritage, architecture, art, historical science and technological development, major schools of thoughts that has happened in India, religion, Jainism, Buddhism, and other religion, contribution from various dimensions to Indian art, architecture, culture, etc. Karnataka history from Kadamba to the modern and unification, etc. Post-Karnataka history and the developments, post-Karnataka developments, like various committees, land reforms, backward caste movements, etc. Then you have society and social issues, actual concepts relating to society, like Jajmani system, caste system, Varna, Jati, those concepts which we study in optional subjects, those things are asked. Different approaches towards communalism, regionalism, ethnicity, those things are asked in society and social issues. Rural development, both from the concept point of view and the application point of view, challenges of rural development, what is being done by the government from the post-independent times under different planning programs, both at the central level, at the state level, concepts relating to rural development like Gandhian approach, Marx approach, all these things are also asked in rural development. Then India and Karnataka economy, almost talking about every basic aspects of economy, monetary policy, fiscal policy, export and import, then industries, infrastructure of both national as well as state, and then data analysis, mainly graphs and other things, along with little bit of CSAT and all of that. And if you see the syllabus, even comprehension is mentioned over there. Okay, so anyway, so don't bother about that part, but important things like permutation, combination, averages, graphs, all that has to be covered over here. This is with respect to paper 1. So if I have to break it down in very simple terms, it looks complicated as such. So you have the history part, then you have the post-independence, Karnataka, right? Society, rural development, economy. This is the most important part in GS1. If you ask me, all these topics are equally important. If you see history and post-independent is very factual. If you see society, rural development, economy can be managed because they are more conceptual, where you can get an idea and then you can cook up your answers. Yes, one more thing, I will tell you how to cook up answers also when you don't know your answers later. Okay, so this is what you will have to do. So you can give equal priorities for both the sections. This is factual, all right, this is conceptual. Okay, and very hardly they ask questions relating to current affairs. Okay, if at all they ask questions, it could be from economy or it can be from rural development. Any new program, schemes, etc. might have to be added to your answer. Same way, economic issues, something which is there in news like government's new policies, startup policies, or MSME sector or something like that may also be asked. But unlike UPSC, they don't, what I have seen previously is that they don't frame questions from current affairs. Okay, they have mainly stuck to certain static topics in economy also. But if you want to add certain current data, etc., will be good enough. So you don't have to exclusively focus on current affairs, but if you find these information, as I told you in the previous class, make note of them and you can add it as examples, data, etc. See, for example, if let's say on infrastructure, you have some current data. So any questions relating to economy is asked, you can add these data to strengthen your answer. Is that okay? So the data, the facts are very important to strengthen your arguments. Is that okay? See, for example, telling, okay, Ram is a good boy. Okay. If I say it the other way, Ram is a good boy because he has 75% attendance in the class. He has always attempted all the questions. Like if you add those data as per the annual review, he has performed at this pace. If I add that, don't you think it will add weightage to your answer instead of simply saying Ram is a good boy? Ram is a good boy because in the annual report, he has achieved 35% or whatever. If I tell like that, it adds weightage. So facts and information will help you to get better marks. Get about half mark, 1 mark extra than what otherwise you would have got. So current affairs, whenever you are preparing from prelims point of view, certain facts, as I told you in the previous class, may be useful from mains point of view. Make note of it separately. From economy point of view, if I take an example, have some data relating to poverty, have some data relating to employment, have some data relating to infrastructure, industries, etc. Same way in geography also have such data relating to industrial distribution, mining resources. So like that data you should have in mind. Similarly, important policy, the year of the policy, etc. Okay, industrial policy of Karnataka, startup policy of Karnataka. Is that okay? Something like that. Those factual information need not go further detail about it. Just be aware that there is a policy between this year to this year. When you write your answer, it will add weightage. What is the government doing to address regional imbalance if a question is asked? The government has come up with a startup policy with a special focus on Hyderabad, Karnataka region. It adds that extra 1 mark. Is that understood? Like that. Okay, through industrial policy, the government is going to set up one district, one industry initiative, so that every district will benefit from this initiative. That is a fact. From where will you write it? That will help you from current affairs, which you would have studied from prelims point of view. Do you have to write it in detail? No. Very rarely, unless they ask, write about Karnataka startup policy. Unless they ask such question, you don't have to know it in detail. Now you might ask, sir, what if they ask such question? Array, you can cook up your answers. Okay, write about Karnataka startup policy. I don't know anything. How will I write an answer? Okay, the objective of this policy, I will write. Generate employment, reduce regional imbalance, promote exports from the state. Am I right or wrong? That is what the policy generally deals with. You understood? So you are not completely right, neither are you wrong. Instead of leaving that question, now I have got 3 marks. You understood? See, what will happen? You have to write exact figure, you will work on it, you will by heart it. Exam mein you can't recollect. What's the point? Instead, know the essence of it. Do startup policy focus on generating employment? Would it focus on creating export? It should, obviously. Am I completely correct as to say that how much employment it is planning to generate? No. But am I wrong? Definitely not. See, you got it. So there are few facts you should remember. Now, Karnataka startup policy, I should know the year. Beyond that, I don't have to bother. Once if I read, I'll put it in my head that something I have to write. What are the challenges? Will be another question of startup ecosystem in Karnataka. If a question is asked, what are the challenges? What can you think of? Cook up answer. That's what I'm saying. What will be the challenges? Huh? Funding will be an issue. Infrastructure is an issue. Credit. Funding may you can add along with credit system, regional imbalance, okay, urban-rural divide, policy paralysis. You understood? So like that, but that also you organize neatly and write it. Economic point of view, what are the challenges? Social point of view, rural-urban divide is a social problem. Education. right? Digital divide, financial divide, social issues, historical, Hyderabad, Karnataka region, historical. So when you write it in several headings, examiner like, oh my God, this person is good. That's what it is. See, if you have that clarity of thought, you can organize and write. But to add to that, you need certain facts, 2, 3 facts. That's all. Like, challenges, regional imbalance. Now, to add weightage to that, I have to add a data. As per this committee report, this much infrastructure is lacking in this particular region. Don't you think you will get extra 1 mark because of that? It will fetch you that extra mark. You write it in bold and underline that data. So like that, few data, general idea. Mix both of them, have a beautiful answer. And you will get better marks. But if you focus on by hearting a lot of information, they will not come to you in the exam. Simply you will be working hard without any outcome from that. I hope you understood what I am trying to say. Same way everywhere, understand the concept and remember few facts. Most important facts. Like that, you should have a list of all of that. In regional imbalance, you should have some data. Is that okay? Education also, women education versus men education. Have a data from Karnataka point of view. Is that okay? So all that kind of limited data, if you have, you can actually remember it and you can write good answer. Do this, okay? For all these topics, this is what you can do. Or in all other topics also, this is what you can plan and do it. Now, coming to the materials that you need to refer, I'm sure all of you have got these materials from paper. See, what we had intended to do was cover the mains topics material because they are not available in the market one by one, which are already available from UPSC point of view, etc. We thought of not doing it now. So whichever is not available in the market, we had covered. So GS1, we have already covered most of it except for economy. So make sure you read these books along with the classes. That is History and Cultural Heritage, 2-volume books are there. Same way Rural Development, 2-volume books are there. Post-Independent Karnataka, 1 book is there. Society and Social Issues, 1 book is there. These are made for KPSC itself. Just stick to that. Okay, but don't try to remember everything. Again, I am reiterating, don't try to remember everything. What is done in the class, you read this and then make note of only important facts that you have to remember. I'll tell you what all to remember later, what I call it as micro notes. I'll do that later. Right. So these are the books that you have to refer. Don't read anything else. It's okay. Attend the class and finish these books. Okay. What is left is economy. This I will give it to you within this month, hopefully, or by 3-4 weeks. This book also will be available. We are preparing, almost half of it is done. Okay, from Karnataka point of view, me and my team, we are working on it, and almost half of it is already ready. The other half within 15 days we will provide to you. So if you have these books, the entire GS1 is covered. It is quite voluminous, almost 500-600 page each book of history and all of that. You have to convert it into say 50 pages for quick revision. I'll tell you how later. But this is the reference book. Don't need to refer to any other internet source, any other textbooks. It's done exclusively for KPSC, keeping KPSC syllabus in mind itself. And history as well as rural development were done by my student who cleared the exam. Okay, both of them. History by Gayatri, who is right now Tahsildar, and rural development by Archana Ramnayak, who is in the Treasury Department. Both of them, after clearing the exam, they made this material according to what they have prepared and what we did in the class. So this is more than enough. Actually, it is more. Okay, now you have to convert, read it, understand, convert it into smaller material. Post-independence as well as society also is done from the KPSC point of view. You don't have to worry. We have referred IGNO materials. We have referred online sources, standard textbooks, society from optional subject. From all of that we have done. So it's good enough for you. Is it 100%? Nobody guarantees you that. But is it enough to clear the exam? Definitely yes. Enough information for you to remember and write it. All now you have to do is attend the class, understand the concept, and by heart the important facts. Okay. Now, economy, I will provide it to you within 15-20 days or so, whatever, as quickly as possible. Okay, so that will cover the entire GS1. Is that okay, guys? Any doubt? GS1, right? I know it may not have everything, so one question may come outside that. It's okay. Manage it. Learn how to cook up. Over the classes, we will tell you how to cook up these answers. Is that okay? Right. So this is with respect to GS1. Next is GS2, paper 3. Very simple again, geography. So those who are preparing for UPSC, there's a lot of overlapping over here. So geography, Indian as well as Karnataka geography, Indian constitution, political development, Indian polity, whatever you call it, governance, all of that, public administration, management, and international relationships. So these are the 3 sections that are there, and almost 7 questions are asked from each of these sections. Okay, so again, geography, you'll have to combine both prelims as well as mains point of view. For example, Karnataka geography, which we'll be doing next, will cover from both prelims and mains point of view. Is that okay? It will not be done separately, or you don't have to prepare for it separately. Same way, your Karnataka, I mean other geography also, Indian geography or physical geography also, from both prelims and mains point of view, you have to keep in mind. But obviously, a little bit additional topics has to be covered from mains point of view. So here in geography, you have to prepare for physical, Indian as well as Karnataka geography. So even though Karnataka geography may not be very useful from prelims point of view, matlab you can leave it and yet clear prelims. But from mains point of view, Karnataka geography is important. About 2 to 3 questions can be asked from Karnataka geography. So therefore, it is worth giving that effort. After Karnataka history, few topics are left, right? Then we will be starting with Karnataka geography. Syed sir will be doing that. Okay? Right. So geography now, which materials to refer? Karnataka geography. Okay, refer our material. Nothing else. We have done it very updated, very recently. Everything is covered from Karnataka geography, both from prelims as well as mains point of view. No need for any other source. Okay, Karnataka geography. Now coming to physical and Indian geography, you can refer any book that you have been referring for UPSC. Our students, you can refer our material. Those who are doing self-study, my recommendation is PMF IAS. You get it on Amazon. I think it is good. If you feel some other book is important, you can read it. No problem. Is that okay? Nothing as such that this is the only book that you have to read. Is that okay? Anything that you have been reading from UPSC point of view, if you are a UPSC student, our students can refer our material. Okay. Or if somebody is doing self-study, you can refer this PMF IAS physical geography. All right. Next is polity, the golden book, Lakshmikant. You can read it. From prelims point of view, you would have read it. Now apply this from mains point of view is what is important. So over here, we will be providing you mains governance book. That also we will release it soon. Mainly focusing on the issues from the mains point of view. All right, like governance, citizen charter, issues with respect to governance, corruption, and things like that. It will not be covering what Lakshmikant would obviously have covered better. Okay, fundamental rights and all those things, center state, all those things have been covered in Lakshmikant. Nobody can do a better job than that. But maybe we will add just value addition, like issues with respect to certain areas, like governor issue, president issue, things like that. Only issue focused content we will be providing you in our classes. Okay, then you have public administration and management. One book covers everything. So this is, you all have a copy of this, public administration and management from our institute. Just stick to that. This is done exclusively for your KPSC exam itself. And the students have, last times, students who have cleared the exam have actually credited this book because it is in a question answer format. Okay, it's very easy to actively prepare for this particular topic because most of the topics are very dry and very theoretical in nature. Public administration and management, like which are the motivational theories, what is national NPM, what is NPA, What is the difference between management and administration? Boring they are. They are not so interesting. So we decided to give this particular topic in question answer format. So at least when you are preparing from a question answer format, you will be actively involved in learning. Okay, so it's a very good book. You don't need any other source for public administration. Now coming to international relationship. So one thing is about 1 or 2 question is asked from international relationship in KPSC. Would you want to give that much importance to it and read big books or standard books for IR is something which you have to take a call. If you ask my suggestion, okay, you can cover this from current affairs. Okay, some basic idea about India and neighboring countries, the historical point of view, etc. If you know, the rest you can cover it from current affairs. If you ask me, easy way to address it. Now, for example, okay, we had G20 summit. So you will be asked question on that. So what is the significance of G20 for India's relationship with the global world? Can be a question. Instead of reading every organization and remembering the facts, etc. Instead of that, whenever mains is there, last 6 months to 1 year, whatever has happened in IR, if you are able to read and prepare for it, it's more than enough. I know it is tempting to be perfect in this also by knowing all. If you see any book on international, it will start from World War II or before that, historical, China, India, that Silk Route. I understand, but can you skip it and somehow manage it? If you are able to do that, it's enough. India-China relationship, India-Pakistan relationship. Okay, if something new issue is boiling, add those. Is that okay? So here, current affairs plays a very important role. Either you can read our magazine Mahiti Monthly, or if you ask me, some UPSC ka exclusive IR material, that 365 that they release, like Vision, Insights or something like that, IR you can read off from that. Is that okay? It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay not to know everything about it, but know enough to write your answer. Like G20, UN, India's role in that, India and neighboring countries, everything is covered in those materials. Either that or you buy one international relationship book for UPSC and you can read it. For our students, we'll do it in the class, the basic what is required, and the current affairs is enough. Those who are doing self-study, 2 alternative. I would prefer you covering it from UPSC current affairs mains material. All the institutes release it for free. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Somebody else is doing, so why unnecessary waste the resources? Is that okay? So IR, you can cover it like that. Is that understood? Any doubt? Okay, next is paper GS3. Okay, so you have science and technology, basic science, environment and ecology. If you ask me, this basic science technology part is the most challenging part, because in KPSC, there is a tendency to ask very basic questions relating to science. Okay, it's been many years since we would have studied basic science. Back then, we would have done it in school level, but they have actually asked some basic questions with respect to science in KPSC. So it's a challenging topic, but anyway, so how I have got the idea of this is, one is the basic science, and then you have the technology part of it. So the basic science, which covers parts of botany, parts of zoology, parts of animal husbandry, parts of agriculture, basic, not talking about the technology or applied or governance part of it, but the actual basic science. Okay, different types of cropping pattern, the technological part of it. Okay, animal husbandry, may different varieties of breed they have asked. All right, so there it becomes challenging for you to answer. But anyway, so how do you address this? One, the technology part of it. Okay, the basics that you would have studied from prelims point of view, like space technology, biotechnology, energy, nuclear technology, all those things shall be covered from prelims point of view. The same thing, if you are able to apply it from mains point of view, issue wise, that would be sufficient. Now, the basic science, as I told you, agriculture science, okay, health and hygiene, zoology part, botany part. If you see the syllabus, there's questions like photosynthesis, transpiration, the types of, plant body parts, plant parts or animal parts. So all that becomes a little bit challenging. So this basic science, there is no proper material for civil services examination. So we are preparing the material. In another 15 days, you will get this material also, basic science, which will cover all the animal botany, zoology, and all those things will be covered according to the syllabus. So with the class, with the material, it would be more than sufficient. The technology part, what you would have covered in prelims. What you would have covered in prelims would be more than sufficient. Add current affairs to it. Okay, so whatever we do in the class plus the prelims part of it can be covered like this. Now, coming to the environment, again, the basic concepts plus issues relating to environment and ecology should be covered. Okay, again, here, whatever you would have studied in prelims is almost 80% is going to be asked in, 80% of what is going to be asked in your environment mains is already covered in your prelims. The extra 20% relating to issues, okay, what measures have been taken from government point of view has to be covered separately. But that, if you ask me, cover it along with your prelims. Like pollution will be there. So you will be studying the basics of pollution. What are the different types of pollutants? Okay, what is the mechanism behind that? What is smog? What is things like that? You'll be studying. But then in mains, the same thing, basic has to be known, but questions will be on issues relating to pollution, what measures can be taken to address it, things like that. Okay, so both has to go hand in hand. So this is with respect to environment and ecology. Now coming to the materials, your science and technology prelims material. For our students, whatever material we give you is good enough. For those who are doing self-study, any science and technology which you have studied for your prelims would be sufficient. Okay, for example, our science and technology was done by my student Rajesh Pannappa, who is currently IFS officer. So he has done it from an exam point of view, would be more than sufficient. Along with that, environment and ecology, also material, which we give it for prelims. For those who are doing on their own, PMF, IAS, etc. can be studied. I told you basic science, no material available. So we will provide you that material. NCERT was the source for that. But again, NCERT doesn't cover it according to the syllabus. So we have taken content from NCERT, we have taken content from IGNO, we have taken content from online sources and compiled them according to the syllabus. So within 15 days, you will have it. So that will suffice for your science and technology book also. Right. Last one, ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Okay. So again, nothing very different from UPSC. If you are prepared for UPSC, then just go for the same notes, same material, same classes. You don't need anything different. Questions are the same. Maybe a little bit standards are less above, etc. Because UPSC has evolved, has had so many, I think 10 mains with ethics. KPSC has had only 3. Okay. Anyway, so this is ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Any standard book for UPSC, okay, lexicon or DK Balaji's ethics, integrity, and aptitude available in the market, you can buy it. One single book is enough. Understanding wise, you can attend class or you can read on your own. It is very easy to understand also. Okay, if you ask me, I'll just mention few strategies. If you ask me some simple tips, okay, from both UPSC as well as KPSC point of view is, so see the entire syllabus once. Okay, see the syllabus, entire syllabus, you go through it. And for every word in the syllabus, you have a definition and you have subheadings. The stories you can write on your own. The definition also need not be exact word to word. Understand what are the keywords in those definitions. Make sure those things are there in your definition. Now, when they ask you what is integrity and how important it is for civil servant to have integrity, if a question is asked, know what is integrity. There will be keywords for that. Make sure those keywords are there in the definition. You have it on your, you can frame the definition on your own. So, like take topic like integrity, have keywords. Just mention those keywords in your notes. and you frame your own answer. So if you ask me, every part of the syllabus, you should have a definition. What is integrity? What is value? What is work ethics? What is personal ethics? You know, then coming to the subheadings, broad subheadings, if you have any. But otherwise, when you are writing your answers, why is integrity important from for a civil servant? Okay, you can write it from the people's point of view. You can talk about from an administrative point of view, from a political point, whatever different viewpoints you can have. See, having integrity is good for the people. Having integrity is good for the system. Both the ways you will have to write. So that you, when you read these books, you will get a rough idea as to what are the key points you have to write under each of it. So this is how you prepare. Read the syllabus, from each word have a definition and have subheadings, meaning key things that is going to be useful. And the third thing that you have to remember or keep in mind is the facts. Okay, facts like what? Like if there has been, if corruption or integrity or some topic is asked. So when you have to write your answer, you write committee report, Nolan committee report, World Bank report, or ARC report, ARC committee report. Again, should you read the entire ARC? Please don't do that. Just know, pick and choose from that also. When you write your answer as per the ARC to promote transparency, this can be incorporated. Over. It should appear that you have read ARC. That's all. Nolan Committee on Good Governance. Okay, what does it say? Okay, World Bank on Good Governance. What is it saying? You know, like that, factual information. And facts like corruption index, India stands at what rank? You know, those basic facts on those things. Okay, citizen charter. Is there any law relating to that? Like in Karnataka, Sakala, what is that? Which year? Should you know details about Sakala? No. Just that there is something called as Sakala. Good governance, digital governance. Is there any facts? Digital. Okay, Kajane. What is that? That's all. 1 or 2 lines relating to that, not beyond that. If they ask a question specific to that, you know how to cook up answers now. Yes, what does it promote? Transparency. What does it promote? Integrity. What does it promote? Good governance. You can mix and match and write answers. But add those facts here and there, like biscuits. Okay, that will tempt the examiner to give you more marks. That's all is required. Fact, ARC report, 1 page, basic things you write. You got it? So like that, you should have factual information. When you read this book only, you will get to know all those facts, information. Select them, and on 5 pages of this kind of material you should have for ethics. And then start writing your answers. Is that okay? So that's what you need to do from, if you ask me, ethics point of view. And the fourth thing that is very important, unlike other thing, is answer writing. Here it plays a very important role, answer writing. More than others. Others also important, but here very important. The way you write your, because ethics is not just list of information, it's also emotion. When you're writing your answer, that emotion should come out, especially for case studies. Maybe some other day I will talk about case study. When we do ethics, I will also take one class on case study, etc. You'll get an idea. So their emotions has to come out in your answers, because ethics is philosophical. It is behavioral. Ethics is a behavior, no? Being good person is a behavior. So your answer should have behavioral ideas in it, not just 1, 2, 3. So therefore, writing good answers, expressing your emotions in as many limited words as possible is the key. That comes with practice. So if you do these 4 things, more than enough. See the syllabus. Each word should be addressed. You should know, if they ask you integrity, you should know what to write 4 or 5 lines on integrity. Is that okay? Same way, subheadings, to get a broad idea under what will you write your answers. And facts, to enhance your answers. More important over here. Data, facts, quotes. Yes, quotes are important here. To bring out the emotion. As Gandhiji said, eye for an eye makes the whole world wide. So we need to ensure that there is harmony in our society. You integrate those things in, right? Emotions. Examiner is going to be from a philosophical background. Those who are going to evaluate. Okay, so therefore you need to express those emotions in your answers through answer writing. Okay, So this is with respect to, if I have to tell in briefly about ethics strategy, maybe when we do ethics, I will explain to you much more detail as to how to deal with it. But the books, like, see, I mean, this is my preference, but if you are reading any other source or class notes or material or any other note, stick to it. Don't change it. For every topic, definitely. So either these two books, I have found it really good. Sure, guys. Right. Lastly, essay topic, right? We'll have to deal with it much more detailed. Probably I will have to take one more class on essay. But now just very few tips on essay. Now, is there any particular content for essay? Definitely not. Here, there are two essays that are asked. Yes. And one is from Karnataka and one is from National. And unlike UPSC, philosophical questions or quotes are not asked. Is that okay? So whatever has been so far, it has been on issues. And I'm sure it's going to be like that because the syllabus mentions it. So Karnataka or local issues, national and international issues. Last year, there was no options. Before that, they used to give 4 topics, and from that, one had to be selected. So from all of this, what are the issues that they're going to ask? Economy, polity or governance related, social issues. Okay, social, like they had asked about Karnataka flag once. They had asked about reservation for Lingayats once. So here, Karnataka affairs plays a very important role. What we are doing in Sunday, like that, you need to update yourself with Karnataka issues. Is that okay? So over here, you need to focus on what are the most recent issues that are happening in Karnataka and national and focus on that. If, for example, international may, if they had to ask a question, they would have asked on G20, I'm sure, 100%. So like that, every year we practice about 20 topics for essay and students are comfortable. One of them usually comes in the exam. So this has been our experience. So like that, when the exam comes, when we plan, we see the recent issues, past 2 years, whatever is happening, we will provide a list of 20 to 30 topics. You can just, information wise, you can just read them, update yourself with current affairs. It's more than enough. If you ask me, here you can also read editorials from your newspaper. Nowhere I have mentioned read newspaper. For mains, you don't need to read newspapers. Okay. From prelims point of view, you would be reading newspaper and all of that. Only for your essay, you need to focus on editorials. 2 advantages here. If you ask, this is the strategy. 2 advantages. One, you get to know the topics and the facts that are necessary for writing an essay. And second, you will get to know how an essay should be written. Essay should be written like the editorial is written. Correct? No, you would have seen newspaper editorial. It has an introduction, it has a body, and then there is a suggestion and conclusion. Correct? No, most of the book, whether it is Hindu or Indian Express, Times, any editorial you would have seen, it is like this. You read about 50 editorials, you will get an idea of how to write a good essay. Instead of buying an essay book and reading the essay written by the author, is not necessary. Here, you get a lot of diverse topics covered from multiple sources. See some important topics that are happening. Like, see, for example, I think yesterday, the Tamil Nadu governor speech. You know the issue? Yeah. So you see the next tomorrow's editorial, day after tomorrow's, the other 3-4 days you see from different newspapers. They would have covered governor's role and the challenges or issues associated with governor. If exam was held next month, I would be very confident that the examiner would have asked this issue. How the governor is integral to India's federalism. Elaborate will be the essay topic. If I have to do a test series, my question will be on that topic. You get it? So where is the information? Editorials. You get information also, you get the approach to write a good essay. So you will write the problem, then the body, then the suggestions, then the conclusion. It's there in all editorials. You read 5 editorials on this, you can also write a good essay. So how do you write a good essay? By writing an essay. That's the end of it. So if you write more essay, the better you are going to become. Should you get it evaluated or not? That's a secondary thing. Write an essay, you give it to him, he give it to you. You see if you can understand his essay is good. If your essay is understood by the other person, your essay is good. Simple thing, you give it to anybody else who is not preparing also. See, did you understand what I have written? If that person is able to understand, that means you have written a good essay. It doesn't require flowery language, creative writing. No, it's not about creative writing. It's about how efficiently you can convey the information to a layman. You might write all flowery, that, this, fact, this, that, and confuse the examiner, you won't get marks. So what you should do, start writing essay. At least if you ask me, if you have time, weekly once you write an essay. 2 like-minded people or 3, 4, whatever, you're in a group, you write an essay and you give it to each other. You can get it evaluated by others also, that's by experts or teachers or anybody. Or you can pay and join test series and all that. That's a different, at least this you should do. Write an essay, give it to somebody and ask if they have understood it. If they have understood, that means you have conveyed the information effectively. Okay, so that is the first part of it. The second part is content. So over here, see, content, structuring and presentation. So start writing the essays. You will understand what content you need. Rather than, oh, I will read everything and then after 3 months I will start writing essay. That will never happen. Write an essay first, then see what information you need. I can't tell you that because it's a feeling. When I write essay, I need these information. When you write essay, you might need something else. Understood? So start writing the essays. So this also we are planning to, in the next week, do give you essay topics so that you at least write them. And then you can evaluate yourself or give it to your teachers, etc. Okay, we'll do that. So content is the second step. The first step is writing your essay and knowing how to structure and presentation. More detail, I will do it some other day on essay itself exclusively. But for now, let me end this with this. Now, with respect to content and all of that, it's an ongoing process. On one day or one class, you will not get essay content. By the time, if you start preparing now, by the time you write your mains exam, you will be ready with respect to content. Because content can include historical aspects, content can include economic aspects, political aspects, social aspects, technological aspects. All of them are already being covered in your syllabus. Wait until you finish the entire syllabus, content will come. But don't wait for writing your essay till the content. Start writing now only, so that you will get to know. See, it's easy for me to say, right? But I know there is always an inhibition to do these things. I get it. It's not only then. Even today, I get so much of inhibition. Like if I do videos every day and upload it on YouTube, it's good for my business. But it's so difficult to, break the ice and go and stand in front of a video and do a video. It's easy for me to say, do video, business will become big. Same way, I'm telling you, essay is good, write it. But I understand the limitation. It's difficult to take that pen and paper and start writing. It's difficult. But try and do it once. Okay, you will not be successful. You will write and then like, oh God, I can't. You get up and go. No problem. Next day, again try. Next day, you have to motivate yourself because this exam requires you to be highly motivated. Okay, write it. If you want, you can give it to me or some other teacher, your friends, anybody. Just get it done. Don't wait it for later. That's personal experience. I'm telling you, it is difficult, but the one who is able to break that and write an essay is going to be successful. Is that okay? So this is what you can do for essay. The approach, etc. Let me do it some other day. It will take a lot of time. Go through it. UPSC. Is that okay? Shall we move on? Any doubt? Material wise, everybody is comfortable except that the upcoming materials, see, which is not available. We are trying to target what is not available. See, we are not a big institute to have a lot of funding, external fundings. Okay, so whatever resources we are able to generate, we are trying to do our best. Okay, with very dedicated staff. So with that, we want to first address the ones which are not available. Okay, so most of our sources are free or we put it online. So therefore, we are trying it as quickly as possible to do this. So first thing we will be doing is this basic science. economics, okay, governance, international relationship as a priority. Other than that, most of the topics have been covered. RD also, we will try and make it a little smaller. Currently, it's almost 600 pages. We will try and reduce it to smaller. History can't be reduced any further. Okay. If you have any complaints, you have to complain with KPSC. Okay. So that's the thing. We can't reduce it any further. We have tried to do that because anything can be asked from that. So, but you be selective when you read. You don't like something, you don't understand something, skip it. Okay. So these are the things that we'll be releasing very shortly. Okay. So whatever materials that are there for sale is available in the website. The rest we don't give it, only for our students. Yeah. That's all. So with these material, it will be sufficient for you to have the content. Now that's the 50% of your effort is the content. That job we have done now. Okay. Now, what are the strategies that you need to adopt to this examination? Okay. Now, if you have seen the syllabus, there are two types of subject. One which is very factual, the other which is very conceptual, okay, or general. The history part, like for example, are very specific. You can't write anything beyond that. Like if they ask you the architecture of Vijayanagar kingdom, you can't write it's a good architecture, very nice, beautiful, wow, wonderful. You can't write. Correct. No, you can't write it from any other perspective. Unfortunately, you have to write what it is. So those are the specific factual information. And then there are general, like see, governor's issue, if you are good in polity, even if you have not studied, you can write something. Alva. Same thing with respect to certain environmental issues or social issues, communalism, question kedidre, you can write something at least. Harmony, that, this, ethics, everything you can write on your own. Is that okay? So there is a mix of both in your examination. So you identify which one you are good at. Are you able to remember more facts? Give priority to that. If you are somebody who can't remember a lot of facts, you make sure that what is necessary from the exam point of view, focus. If that's the case, like if you ask me, it's difficult for me to remember a lot of facts. So history was my last priority. I was good in other things, so I could manage it over there. So it has to be a balance. Overall, you should get maximum marks, not in individual paper, alva. Somewhere you lose, but somewhere else, if you are able to gain, very good. I remember I had got 190 in ethics. Okay, essay also, something like that. Easy, low-hanging fruit for me, I'm saying. For somebody who's like, oh, I can't write that, this. Facts I can remember, good, go ahead. So identify your core strength and then focus on that. Don't crib like, oh, so much fact is there. History, I'm honestly telling you, I had skipped till the end. Only few topics I had selected. Most important ones, etc. I had selected. Okay, somehow I managed and I was able to clear the exam because in polity, all questions, 7 on 7, beautiful, extra I had written. Okay, same way, economics, geography, okay, science and technology, ethics, essay. That time when I wrote, even optional was there. Optional, very high marks I got. So that way we could have balanced. Now optional is not there, but you should know where to balance your. See, if you are able to put the same effort and get some 30 marks extra in essay. See now history, for example, my logic is very simple. So 7 questions will be asked. Let's say 12, how much? 4, 8, 84 marks. 84 marks from history. Okay, even if I study and write a good, this one I will get 50%, that is 40 marks. But to study and master history, 2 volumes, after attending class, remembering by heart, how much time I would require? At least 2 months or 1 month, okay. In that 1 month, how many essay can I write? How many ethics answers can I write? How many ethics books can I read? And how much value addition? I will obviously be getting 60 to 80 marks by the same effort. Extra, I'm saying. So which one should I give priority? Obviously, where my strengths are. Because it's an average, or you add total of all the subjects. Total of all the subject, alva. So here I'm losing 40. Somehow akade Jainism, Buddhism, Harappa, that this I throw in there. Prelims ka Vijayanagar, that this architecture good, wow, I write. Okay. So I end up getting some 20 marks at least, something. Is that okay? So sometimes the question also will be general, if you see. Okay, and some like modern history and all, like modern Karnataka history is somehow manageable. It's good because if you relate it with UPSC, I used to give UPSC, so I related with modern history, and there somehow I could manage it. Okay, so out of 40, I got 20, but somewhere else I got 60 marks. So that's the strategy. You attend, you read, but then you know priorities and then you identify. So that's what you can do. This is the first thing that you have to realize before you start your, core preparation. Attend all the class, attend all the subject, read it, no problem. But what you are going to give information or stress on, that you should know based on your skill set. If you're good in facts, I have seen students write some 10 facts on architecture and all. Like you've seen Syed sir's class. How does he remember all that facts? I don't know. Okay, story without even reading, like he'll put the entire, Vijayanagar kingdom, right? Architecture, administration, the names of the political, all that he will be able to remember. Like that. Okay, so if you are that kind of person, do it. Okay, so that's something which you can focus on. Next, have the basic notes material. Now I've already told you the material that should be there as a reference source. Okay, now read that basic notes, but revision notes should be different. Prelims may I told you don't make any notes or anything unless required absolutely. Lakshmikant is enough. Is example as I told you. But means is not like that. For every subject, at least 10 to 15 pages ka revision notes you should have. Is that okay? Now, what is this revision notes? I like to call it micro notes. So I don't know, you can call it any other way. Okay, so I call this revision notes as micro notes. If you ask me what is micro notes, if I have to define what is micro notes, imagine if you are allowed to take chits to the exam hall. Okay, let's say GS1 is there and you're allowed to take 10 pages of chits by KPSC. They won't allow, don't take and go, but I'm saying, okay, if you are allowed to take, what will you write? Will you write everything or will you write only what you can't remember? That is your revision notes. What you can't remember, the keywords that you need, absolutely important ones, to write 3 pages from one sentence is what you are going to write. You understood? That varies. For you, micro notes may be different. For you, micro notes may be different. My micro notes will be different. I can remember, let's say, dates. You can remember names. That will be different. Some people can write with headings. See now, for example, over here, micro notes. This is something which I wanted to talk, but I would have forgotten. After class, I'll be like, oh, I should have written micro notes. I should have explained the students about micro notes. Now this is there in my slide, so I can talk half an hour for that. Same way, you should also have these words that is called as the trigger words, using which you should be able to write 2 to 3 pages. More micro notes, when I do classes, I will tell you what all to stress on. But micro notes should contain the following things. 1, facts. Rather, no, before facts, more important is the keywords. Keywords. For every topic, there will be keywords that the examiner will be trying to look for. Is that okay? In a definition or in ideas and concepts, okay, or in architecture, the factual, like Vesara style of architecture or Gandharva style. So that is the keyword. That's not facts. That's a keyword the examiner will be looking for. You understood? In ethics, may values or something like that. Those are the keywords. In definition, what is monetary policy? Okay, it is by the government. So you should have, it's by the central bank of a nation, which regulates the supply of money. So supply of money is the keyword. Just to give you an idea. So keywords should be there. That is also your trigger words. That will trigger you to think, trigger you to write your answer. Then, second, headings. Headings. Most of the time, you know it, but it's not coming. Correct? You might have seen when a question is that, I know it, sir told this, it's not coming. But if you break it down into headings, now when you are talking about the problems, if I put it economic problem, social problem, historical problem, when the headings are there, aram se it's going to come out. Okay, so headings. Then facts. So facts can include data, date, names of people, commissions, history mein, architecture mein, names, etc. Okay, like Vesara style of architecture was very famous by this. For example, this temple. The temple is the example. Vesara is the keyword. You understood the difference? You don't have to write all 10 temples. Sir would have given this temple is this temple, Vesara, this temple. Remember one example, but Vesara must know. One temple, example. So facts like that, names, date, people's names, committees' names, reports' name, policy names. All these are the micro notes, what is required. Like chits that you need to take. And it keeps changing. Sometimes you already know it, obvious it is, you don't have to write it. See, and don't get obsessed with this. I have seen students obsessed with this, writing neatly, colorful, putting all different, gel pen, all that. Don't get carried away by that. This is something which you throw away. Is that okay? I have seen beautification done for this. No. It is something which you don't give it a lot of importance. Is that okay? It is for quick revision. Now, history, for example, will take 1 week for you to read the entire book, correct? Page 1 to 600 page, if you have to read, it will take at least 1 week. Reduce it to 10 days, which can be covered in, 10 pages, which can be covered in 2 to 3 hours, by which you can get some idea to write your answer. Economy, some 5 pages of data, facts, keywords. Understood? So that's how it should be. Okay, so that's what it is. So as we do more classes, you will be more comfortable with what I'm trying to say over here. So this is what we can do for micro notes for every subject. So the idea is like this. What you are going to do now, learning, is for the last 3 months before your mains exam. Mains exam is there. Okay, 3 months, no reading new things. That 3 months before the mains examination, you'll be writing your answers and revising. For revising, you need to make this micro. You can't read the actual textbook in that 3 months. You read the textbooks, material, attend classes or whatever now, and prepare for that 3 months. You keep everything ready and close your book and wait for the notification. If it doesn't come, I'm saying. But that has to happen now. Learning and making the micro notes. And in that last 3 months, that micro notes you should write your answers or test series. Go on writing, revising, writing, revising, writing, revising. I have seen students fail not because they were intelligent, because they felt short of time. In this 3 months, they will start searching for book, take printout of book or buy book and start reading. Imagine reading 600 pages in that 3 months, along with other books. You can't do it. It's not possible. You will simply give an attempt, that's all. And wait for another 3 months crying, when is notification, when is notification. Instead, finish it off now. Read that book, convert it into micro notes, and whenever the exam comes, 3 months, you can prepare. Is that okay, guys? Understood? Okay, and then answer writing. Is that okay? So if you ask me, in all of this, the most important approach or strategy, I understand it may look like a marketing strategy or anything, but if you ask me, the most important investment that you need to make is the test series. It will help you systematically prepare for the test, for the syllabus, for the exam, plus you will get feedback. Because when we write an answer or an essay or anything like that, we feel that we are really good at it. Because obviously we are writing with our best ability. So when you read it, we feel it is nice. But when somebody else reads it, they will be able to find out the problem. Same way when you read others, no answers, you will get to know. But if you have somebody from experience background, like as I told you, history, if you come and bring me paper, I can't do much justice. If you give it to somebody who is expert in history, they can do it. Same way, if you bring polity to me or economy, you will see the difference from different angles you can write. So that way, some expert evaluating your paper is always a good approach. Okay, so answer writing you should be able to do. So that's what. So we'll also be doing test series, or if anywhere else you are joining, very important. Okay, it's the only investment, if you ask me, that is very, very important for your preparation. Okay, we'll be doing 30 tests where we'll be providing both evaluation as well as mentorship. And in that, for limited students, we will be providing complete hand-holding, right, till the, how to write, individually discussing all those things. We will plan and try and do this. By next week, I will release this test series. We'll see what we can do further. And then last and the most important thing also you need to realize is know something about everything in the syllabus. Okay, if you combine these two, okay, you will be a very potent candidate to enter into service. Know about everything, something, and with the answer writing skill, you can write, okay, enough to get very good marks. You should realize that mains, unlike prelims, okay, is a very different ball game, because those who are writing mains are equally hardworking like you, equally prepared like you, I mean, they also have the same resources. Prelims, you have, 7-8 lakhs people writing, and 80% of them are not very serious candidate. But if they have cleared prelims and then they're writing mains, in whichever category you are, they are competitors. 1:10, 11 ratio. All the 11 are war tested, battle tested from prelims, desperate, waiting for 3 to 4 years. So therefore, you should realize that each mark, I'm telling you, you can go ask your seniors. I'm telling you with my personal experience, one mark, the other 7 marks or something like that. UPSC also same thing, 20 marks, 11 marks, 7 marks once in 3 attempts, like that. I lost. Is that okay? Same way, each mark is going to be counted in your final exam. Unlike prelims where you can, gumpali govinda, if you just are there in the, group who have cleared prelims, it's enough. Mains is not like that. You have to be at the top. Especially if you don't want any problem in the interview, make sure you get very, very high marks in your mains. Okay. So this is what you can do. So now, if I have to just recap whatever we have done, right? So identify the syllabus, have material for everything. That's the first thing. Okay, make sure you read it or attend classes, understand it, keep it ready. Second step is, while doing this only, convert them into micro notes or revision notes or mind map, whatever is your strategy, so that you can revise each subject as quickly as possible. Like PubAd, you have 60 pages, 22 classes, convert it into 2 hours. In 2 hours, you should be able to revise everything. Same way with society, same way with RD, same way with economy, same way with ethics. Ethics, you have one book. You should be able to revise the entire book in 2 to 3 hours. That should be the strategy. So in the 3 months before the mains, this is what you should do. You don't even need to do micro notes. Please let me again reiterate that. If you have a book and you have highlighted there and you can turn the pages within 2 hours, that's also your micro notes. You understood? You don't have to physically write also. Let's say you have public administration book, which is 150, 200 pages. You have underlined important keywords in that book, and you can turn the page and remember it within 2 hours. That is also enough. That's what you have to do. Simple strategy. Okay. So learn, notes, textbook. Keep it ready now. Learn one subject after the other. Don't look at the entire syllabus. Very scary. You see the syllabus, you'll go mad. Take one subject at a time. Okay, now history is happening. Take history. RD just got over. Read RD, keep it ready. Even if you forget, no problem. Class test you have given, enough. You have kept it ready, enough. You forget it, no problem. When you revise it, all of it will come to you. Okay, so this you finish. This is the first stage. Then you could have made micro notes or underlined, etc. and keep it all ready. Okay, so then you give your tests. Here you should have given your class test. Okay, make sure you don't miss your class tests. Okay, make sure you give your class test, make your micro notes, and then once you complete the entire syllabus, start giving your test if you're exclusively focusing on KPSC. If not, do other things. When the notification comes, start giving the test. If you really want to do well, give your test as soon as you complete the syllabus. Is that okay? That is when you will revise, give the test, get 40 marks, get scared, start crying, write again. Again, fail, make mistakes, try, again, improvise. Start with 40 marks out of 250. You will end up getting 190 after giving all the tests. That should be your target. Okay, so this is what you can do for your mains preparation. One more thing that I would want to add over here, again, very important, is with respect to answer writing. So 50% of your effort is learning, notes, micro notes, revision, etc. The other 50% should go for answer writing. I understand it's very difficult to come out and write answer and all of that. That inhibition is there. As I told you, I have inhibition on so many things. Let's say some, you have to go and ask somebody some favor. It's so difficult to go and ask. No? You have to convince yourself. Same way, answer writing also is very difficult. I know it. Okay, but it's the most important thing along with content. 50% learning, content, classes. The other 50% is answer writing. Now, with respect to answer writing, how is your answers going to be evaluated in KPSC? Okay, so this is the mode in which it is going to be evaluated. Is that okay? So these 5 things you have to keep in mind. Very important for you to understand what you are supposed to write. So this is how the marks are distributed. Let's say if 10 marks, 5 marks is for this, 2 marks is for this, 2 marks is for this, 1 mark is for this. This is how marks are given. You understood the percentage wise? Whatever marks, 10 marks, 12 marks, this is. So for relevance, I have not put any percentage. Your answer will go to the next step only if it is relevant. If you have written irrelevant, you will not get any marks, 0. So if you have written related or relevant, then the examiner will go forward. You understood? If they have asked about Vijayanagar Empire, if you write about something else, obviously 0 marks. Once you have addressed whatever is there in the question, right, you will go to the next step. Examiner will then evaluate your answer based on this. 50% marks will be allotted for your content. Is that okay? So content can include headings, dimensions, etc. Whether you have addressed all the dimensions, whether you have written all the points that is required, whether all the keywords are there. These are all basic things: keywords, dimensions, headings. Okay, basic information. Have you written? If you have written, you will get 50%. Now, let's say it's 10 marker question. You will get 50% if you have written. If the examiner feels you have addressed all the dimensions, you have written all the points. Okay. Next is whether you have presented that information properly. Is there a good flow? Is there, order? Is there structure in your answer? You don't conclude with an introduction. You don't conclude in your introduction. You are understanding? You don't. I have seen many students write conclusion in the introduction. Okay. You write your points and then you conclude. No. So like that, is there proper structure? Is there headings? First you write positive, then you write negative, then you write reforms. Correct? No, that's the order. If they say Sakala, what is the issue? So first you will write why Sakala is good. What is the challenges of good governance? Then what is the recommendations to improve it? Correct? No? You don't start with the recommendation. Or you don't say that Sakala is the most important reform that has been done. That's the conclusion. Conclusion, thus, based on the above arguments, Sakala has promoted good governance in Karnataka. Thus, you don't start with thus. I've seen many students, you're getting, okay, so like that you should write. So if say, let's say Sakala and how it has promoted good governance, if that question is asked, your introduction will be good governance. Good governance is blah, blah, blah. Then you will write what are the policy or scheme relating to Sakala. What are the provisions of Sakala? Then you will write how does it help, positives. Then the challenges. Then the recommendations. Thus, if these recommendations are done, it promotes, it's one of the global award-winning initiative by the government of Karnataka, promoting good governance in our state. That will be your thus you would have written there. So that is the structure. If you have written the same content in a good structure, you will get 20%. So this will fetch you 7 marks out of 50. If you have, out of 10, you will get 7 marks if you do this. It's difficult because examiner will always try to find what you have not written. Is that okay? So therefore, obviously you won't get full marks, but as many dimensions as are possible. So always have that basic framework. Start from history, society, economy, political, environmental, and technological, ethical point of view. You understood? Any answer, most of the polity, economy, society, ethics, everything will be looked from this dimension. Historical point of view. Okay, social point of view, economic point of view, geographical or environmental point of view. Then, what else did I miss? Political point of view. Okay, ethical point of view. Now, let's say a question is asked on digital governance. Correct? A question can be asked, digital government, it can be asked in public administration, it could be asked in polity, it can be asked in ethics, it can be asked even in essay. When you're writing about digital governance, you can write from a historical point of view, social point of view, digital divide, basic internet facilities not available, understand, that's a social point of view, economic, cost saving, expenditure on infrastructure, etc. Environmental point of view, saving paperless office, good for the environment. Sustainable goal is that only one of the sustainable goal. When you're writing advantage of digital governance, don't you think you can write all this? You write 10 points. How will you organize your thought based on this framework? Political accountability, transparency, administrative convenience, network, global players, etc. Ethical point of view, transparency, reduce corruption through digital. So when you write 1, 2, 3, because you have that structure in your mind, any answer can be looked from this angle, right? So that's how you can address. So that is the structure and content point of view. Once this is addressed, both are equal. Both go simultaneously. If you have written content with poor structure or structure without poor content, both will not get you marks. Once you have addressed these 3 things, then the examiner will go into the next one, next 2. If the examiner has to remove marks, he will remove marks from this. Here you get marks, here you lose marks. Okay, so here what is that? Sorry, here you lose marks, here you get marks. If you have not written one dimension which the examiner wants, you lose that marks. Here, the more you write, the more marks you get. So value addition. What is value addition? Data. Now look at the difference here. Data, heading, basic information is content. Must write. But the value addition is data, facts, quotes, flowchart, diagrams, map. Write down all this. Diagram, map, flowcharts, data, facts, quotes in ethics, case studies in ethics, case studies in ethics, personalities in ethics, etc. These are value addition. The more you write, that extra marks. This is what differentiate a topper who clears the exam and those who don't clear the exam. Those who don't clear the exam would have studied, would have written the answer, but would not have value addition, because that is where that extra 5 marks, 10 marks, 1 mark, each question you get. By this, you just get an extra 1 mark, 20 question, 20 marks. So that's the difference between a topper and those who don't clear. Not that they would have studied anything extra. They would have made a conscious attempt. This is what you learn in your test series. This is where you learn from your class. This is what you learn from presentation, and value addition is what you learn from your test series. That's the difference. If you see toppers and the others who didn't clear, hardly difference will be 100 marks. 50 to 100 marks. Matlab, I'm saying the cutoff between the who cleared and the last person who gave the exam will be, the difference will be hardly 50 to 100 marks. That's all. How did he get that 50 marks? By just adding that 1 marks for each question. One map you add in geography, in IR, you get that extra 1 mark. One flow chart you write in society or governance or something, you get that extra 1 mark. Add that case study or in this quote in your ethics, you get that extra 1 mark. Add that data or facts in economy or history, you get that extra 1 mark. And your micro notes should mainly focus on this and the heading, but mainly on this, because as you read more, you'll be comfortable with the content. The value addition you will not remember. Consciously, you have to put that extra value addition. Consciously. That is something which you have to learn. That will help you in test series. So that's a different thing. And lastly, presentation. It should look good. Handwriting should be legible. Don't want flowery handwriting or anything. If you have a bad handwriting, make sure you write capitals. The headings in capital, put it in a box, underline. Okay, all these are presentation wise. Flow chart. If you're putting a diagram, put it in a box. Small tips that you need to enhance your marks. Bad handwriting also how to improve. If you have, people have actually done, one of my friend who got into service actually took that cursive writing book and practiced, to improve the handwriting. If you have that, do it. Everything, no stone should be unturned. Everything should be tried. Do it. Make sure you write in unruled papers so that in the exam you are used to it. Start writing fast. Okay, all that you can. This is how marks is given. So relevance is the first. If you have not written, no marks. Then they go to the next, content structure. Once this is good enough, value addition and presentation. Is that okay? And KPSC, one tip is attempt all questions. UPSC, I would not suggest that. Sometimes when you write wrong answers, examiner may get irritated also. But there also you can manage. But KPSC you have to fill up the papers also. But filling up paper not at the cost of not completing the paper. Completing all the question is important. Then filling up the papers. Because see, who evaluates KPSC, to be very honest, it's your PU level or degree level teachers. The quality you can judge according to our education system, government appointment of lecturers. Based on that, you can understand. I don't want to go beyond that, but get a picture as to how to tempt them to give you marks. It's all about that. It's a tug of war. They are trying to pull more marks. You are trying to get more marks. Okay. In that way, try to make sure that the examiner at the end is happy. How can you make finally, if I have to say something, like examiner is going to give you marks if that person's job is made easy. Yes or no? Nobody, as soon as he is born, he'll not say, I will become KPSC evaluator for KPSC. Nobody has such a dream. Everybody is doing a job. Correct? If let's say 100 evaluators are there or lecturers who are evaluating your paper, all the 100 people, if not, I'm just trying to be this one, will be cribbing. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, 1 week ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಟೆಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಮದುವೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಬೈತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೇರೆ. Because these are all constitutional body. Once the letter comes, they have to go. They will then try to put influence from minister to take them away from that, because they get peanuts from that evaluation, some 200-300 rupees or something per paper. They have to stay outside, eat bad food, stay in some guest house with no proper facilities. They'll be all frustrated. So make sure that you provide a kind of a happy moment for them by writing nicely, neatly, underline the words. Don't make it difficult for them to evaluate. Underline the keywords are important because of that. As soon as they say, oh, this person, good, he'll be happy. One paper is over. Sadhya, good boy, good girl. That should be the ultimate focus. You understood? If you do that, they will be happy, you will be happy, you will clear, everything is happy. If you make it like full like a puzzle, put it all, complicated and all of that, that fellow will be like, oh my God, what is wrong with them? Why will they bother? Correct? No, why will they bother? If you have written one sentence, you have to explain, you have written one paragraph. He'll read, ayo, ishtena. Why will they be happy? Why will they, are you their daughters or, son or somebody? They don't know who you are. For them, it's a task. As quickly as they finish, it's good for them. Make it easy for them. No, write in keywords, 1 or 2, flow chart. Put a flow chart and finish off your answer. They'll be happy. You'll get good marks. Paragraph al baribardu adike. Points al baribeku. Underline the keywords. Write block letters mein headings. All those are the small tips which you can learn over a period of time. Is that okay? Illi, if we are correcting, we have taken money, so we will evaluate it, give you feedback, that's a different thing. Alli, nothing like that, no mercy. If you are not doing good job, if you're not done well, they will just move on, because they have so many papers that they have to evaluate. Okay, so like this. So answer writing some other day we will do it. So overall, if I have to conclude, right, this is what it is. Know your exam again, syllabus properly, know your previous year questions, how they have asked, what is the marks, weightage, everything. Plan your resources. What is your resource? Time. Is that okay? Time is the resource. Which one will you give importance? So now if you have finished prelims, focus on your mains. Once the notification comes, once again, jump back to prelims. If you have finished prelims, give prelims test series to keep your, because now the notification may come. So it's already better to be prepared. If you have finished your mains, start focusing on your test series. If you have not finished your main syllabus, focus on your class. So it's all dependent. So plan your resources. Whenever the notification comes, you should be ready. Keep targets, timetable. History bitre 3 ತಿಂಗಳು ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂರ್ತೀರಾ? No, keep targets. Push yourself. Is that okay? Have a timetable, long-term timetable. I know in KPSC it's very difficult, but as I told you, first prelims, mains. If you have not working otherwise, do both prelims and mains together. One subject at a time. Then have a routine. Okay, whatever it is. If you're a night person, you plan your nights accordingly. If you're a daytime person, plan it accordingly. If you're early riser, plan it accordingly. If you're late sleeper, plan it accordingly. Have a routine. It's always better to have an SOP, standard operating procedure. Okay, when you are depressed, when you are angry, when you are sad, when you are confused, SOP will take care of itself. Okay, fix a date for writing essay. Fix a day to write test. Fix a day to revise. Have a day, every day, reading current affairs. Like that, fix it. And have a SOP, that's all. It will take care of itself. You don't have to plan. Before you sleep, plan your tomorrow's program, what you're going to do. Because morning you get up like, yen madodu. If you are thinking, it becomes too depressing sometimes when you're not motivated. Have a 1 week plan, 3 months targets. daily approach one day before the exam. All that maybe some other day we can also discuss. Keep yourself motivated. Okay. How do you keep yourself motivated? If you ask me in KPSC, okay, stop interacting with negative persons. Okay. I have been in this field, especially KPSC, I've been in this field where you have more negative than positive. The only positive is once the result comes. Is that okay? So 95% of things around you is negative. Okay, you have Telegram group which is scaring people, which are negative. You have tea shops में people who are having tea who are negative. You have seniors who are negative. You have faculties who are negative. Okay, you have KPSC which is negative, negative, negative. Alva. So in all of that, you need to find positive. See, whatever we are doing, we are doing. People, I get so much mail, and they even abusive ones. Name is NammaKPSC, Kannada hakidira, Kannada kodalla. Are, what can I do? I am not good at it. What can I do? How can I teach something which I am not good at? I am trying to put effort. We are funding so that at least free magazine we can provide in Kannada. Beyond that, how can I do? Whom will I catch and like do Kannada? How can I do it? I would want to do it. I want to promote it. If some like-minded people come forward, you should see the abusive messages that I get. What can I do? If I could do a justice, I will do it. Like that. Same way, why notification? They're scolding us. I'm like, what? My institutes are doing it, it seems. What? Where am I? Papa, I'm like, morning I get up, take class, plan it. Where will I have time to go and talk to them and tell them delay notification? Or rumors we are spreading. That's why I'm telling you. I'm telling you how to remain positive in this environment. Prepare and plan for something else. Do some other job. Prepare for UPSC. Prepare for lower exams. Prepare for SSC. Do something, NABARD, RBI. But finish this first if you are focused on this. If you are a UPSC aspirant, finish your UPSC prelims. No need to study for KPSC prelims if you are a UPSC aspirant. Once the notification is come, you come to us. Till then, don't do prelims. Because same thing, UPSC prelims, if you are going to clear UPSC prelims, KPSC 100% you should clear. You will clear. So don't do anything different. If you have finished UPSC preparation, don't know what to do, then you jump to KPSC mains. Those who are doing UPSC, that's what somebody had asked. So if you are a UPSC aspirant and you have finished all the studying and you are taking a break, there are a lot of students who say that, Agala, ee varsha UPSC agalla. Okay, if you are that kind of a person and you have finished studying all UPSC, come for KPSC mains. Join only for KPSC mains. Or read only KPSC mains syllabus. Or there is something called as Mission Kadamba. You join that. If you have finished UPSC, if you are a UPSC student, don't focus on KPSC. Okay, if you are good in UPSC, automatically you will clear. Automatically you will clear KPSC prelims. 100% guarantee. Come 15 days, we will provide you, current affairs, everything. 15 days, you can clear KPSC prelims. Is that okay? If you are only exclusive KPSC, finish off your KPSC. Over everything. Simply keep giving test series. Focus on something else. Get married, okay, or have kids, or join some other job. Do something. Go do farming. Anything. Wait till the notification. Don't cry. It's okay. 3 years, 4 years. I have seen students cry like this, but at the end, it will be all good. Have that confidence. I'm telling you, see, it's not from a business point of view, but I'm telling you, you have to do this one. You have to remain motivated. I know it. I have seen 4 notifications in my KPSC journey. It's always been like that. Those who have remained motivated, consistent, at the end have cleared. Instead of waiting, finish it off now, put it in the bank. Okay, when the notification comes, remove it from the bank. That's all. You can't do preparation after. That's why I told you, remember, pre-prepared. KPSC, what works? Being pre-prepared. I'll do mains once the notification. It will come some other time. Doing it then and then waiting for the next 3 years is a bad idea. Okay. So do that. Have a routine, have motivation, be pre-prepared, and revision test. If you have finished your learning part, prelims if you have finished, take test. Mains if you have finished, take test. Because it's a ongoing process. It's only investment that you have to make is this test. Okay, so this is what you should be doing. If I have to summarize whatever we have discussed, I'm sure it is useful, guys. Somebody has to do this. Okay, I have done that to push you at least for a week or something. If you do that, you will be very successful. 100%. Sadness is just temporary. Success is permanent. Is that okay? You might suffer now. Once you are successful, there's nothing that succeeds like success. Okay, so that's what you can do. Again, just to remind you, free current affairs on Karnataka issue from Sunday onwards. Don't miss this opportunity, all of you. Test series on CSAT. Again, if you are weak in CSAT, I would recommend you to give this. You will see the difference. Most important, 30 into 10, 300 topics important from CSAT point of view will be covered. So don't miss this. Okay, if they have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I hope it was useful, right? I'll see there are other things like answer writing approach, essay approach, all those things we will take it up again later. So it's a series of motivation class once a week or once in 10, 15 days. I will try and do it to keep you also motivated in this very turmoil situation. Is that okay? I hope it was useful. If you have any doubt, I'm here. You can ask. Let me address the online students. Thank you so much.